Yes, Columbus. An Experience Columbus podcast keeps you in the know of what's happening in the Arch City. Columbus, the #1 soccer team, the #3 beer city, a top 10 culinary destination with the largest concentration of fashion professionals in the U.S. Join us each week with special guests for an inside look at a destination that invites visitors and locals alike to explore. By the end of each episode, you'll be asking yourself, can all of this really exist in one city? Yes, Columbus. Well, hello and welcome back to Yes, Columbus, an Experience Columbus podcast. I'm one of the co-hosts, Boxer, along with Sarah Towns, who's in the house.
Hi, Boxer.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Each episode, we talk with the people behind the places that make Columbus such a vibrant, welcoming, and exciting destination. And today's guest, he's someone whose impact on the city extends far beyond the green.
Quite frankly, I'm excited because this is the first time I've talked to this guy for years, and this is the first time that I get to see him in the flesh, like in person. And I'm sure I saw him sizing me up. I'm sure I've disappointed him. So.
No.
It's such a big city that it's taken so long for us to see each other.
I know, right? Well, we're excited to have you. We'll introduce you in just a second. But, before we dive into today's conversation, I want to start with our headliner segment. This is where we highlight a recent story or accolade about Columbus. If you didn't know, Columbus was just named one of Travel + Leisure's 20 best places to travel in June. And here's what they had to say, quote, "The Ohio capital buzzes with activity in the summer with concerts, gallery hops, and festivals drawing visitors from across the region."
And it is such a well-deserved spotlight. Memorial Day, late May, early June in Columbus is packed with incredible experiences, from iconic events like the Columbus Arts Festival, the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday, to patio season and beyond. And what makes it even better is the welcoming spirit you feel here. Whether you're exploring a new neighborhood or checking out a local business, there's something authentic and exciting around every corner.
Absolutely. And when Sarah talked about the Memorial Tournament, that should be your clue with today's guest. For our Behind the Buzz segment, which we highlight the new and exciting things happening in Columbus, which brings us to today's guest, the man leading the charge behind one of the region's most celebrated summer traditions. It gives me my great pleasure to welcome Dan Sullivan, managing partner of HNS Sports Group and executive director of the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. Dan, welcome.
Thank you, Boxer. Great to see you and Sarah. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Dan, we are so glad you're here. The Memorial Tournament has such a long and rich history in Columbus. But before we dive into that, we'd love to hear your story. You've played a major role in shaping the Memorial Tournament and elevating its national presence. But can you walk us through your journey? How did you get started in the industry, and what led you to create HNS Sports Group?
Sure. I don't want to bore you, but let me give it a shot. I'm a native of Columbus.
Nice.
Grew up in Upper Arlington and went to St. Charles, then on to Miami of Ohio. At Miami, I was a junior looking for a summer job, and I became a waiter at Muirfield Village Golf Club. Love the game of golf. Thought it was a good chance to not only get some money and work a little bit, I got to play golf out there. Along the way, I asked a gentleman named John Hines if there were any internships. I was a marketing major at Miami. He said yes. So I got a chance to work the 1987 Memorial, 1987 Ryder Cup as an intern. And it was awesome. I left for 4 years and went to WTVN, where I sold, which was awesome itself. I learned everything. I learned how to grind away at selling. And then in 1991, I went back to Muirfield Village as sales and marketing director for the Memorial. And from there until 2000, worked within the Memorial and the Nicklaus organization. And in 2000, became the director as well as created HNS Sports Group with John Hines, who was my mentor along the way, and Steve Nicklaus and Jack. And I always thought I'd leave Columbus. I always thought that I had a dream of working for NBC or Sports Illustrated, stay in sports, stay in advertising sales. And along the way, there were so many opportunities to stay right here, to build my career with the Memorial Tournament and create my own company, that I never thought about leaving once I got into it. And we have 4 kids, grew up right here in Columbus, and our 4 kids have thrived. They're all coming back to work here, and the rest is history. So I've been the director for 25 years. This is the 50th memorial. Wow. And we're really proud of what's been created over time.
Wow. And I just have to say, Dan, the access that you give us and allow us in media to talk to you, for you to be able to pull back the curtain on the memorial tournament, Jack Nicklaus, please know that we're all grateful. We're grateful for your time, for you doing that every single year.
Well, you're nice. Thank you. We think we have a unique product. We have a unique event. It's only 7 days. We wish that we could be here all summer long, like the Clippers or like the Crew or during the winter with the Blue Jackets. But we have 7 days to get it right. And so we want to make sure that everyone knows how special it is to have this world-class event here in town, that Jack and Barbara Nicklaus decided to create something in their hometown. And so we have 7 days to get it right, and we work hard to make sure that we do. And partners in the media, partners in the corporate and individual communities have really supported it over time. We're indebted.
Yeah. Well, Dan, look, for those that may not be familiar with, tell us about the legacy of the tournament's founder and host, the one and only Jack Nicklaus, and, of course, the ongoing influence that he has today.
Yeah, he has so much passion for Columbus. He and Barbara do. You think about it. When we think of Jack Nicklaus as an elder statesman now, right? But when he created the Memorial Tournament in Muirfield Village Golf Club, he started it when he was 28 years old. The first tournament was when he was 34, right? So think about that. You're early 30s, and you're an incredible athlete within the game of golf, but you've decided, you live in Florida, you've decided to put something back in your hometown because it means that much for you. And he created the memorial in the image and likeness of the Masters. He loves that tournament, so he wanted to bring something like that to Columbus, Ohio. And he chose Dublin as the destination for it. And over the years, he has not lost his passion to make sure that this is his defining legacy, that he always wanted to support his hometown. He always wanted to support the fans in the community that supported him for so many years. And he wanted to make sure that with this tournament, there's a lasting legacy from a giving standpoint, and that's why our connection with Nationwide Children's Hospital is so important.
Absolutely. You know, speaking of influence in the name Nicklaus, it's an exciting year for the tournament with Barbara Nicklaus, the bedrock of the Nicklaus family, First Lady of Golf, being celebrated as the memorial honoree. Can you tell us about Barbara's impact?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I say Jack did all that, he did it with Barbara every step of the way. I mean, literally every step of the way. Barbara grew up in Columbus, went to North High School, has spent her life understanding that Columbus is her roots, and she has meant so much to so many through the game of golf. So when they were younger, they had 5 kids and traveling around, and it's not like today when they're taking private jets everywhere. In the beginning, they were driving a station wagon and changing diapers on every corner, right? And so she was the foundation of the family, was and is. To ensure that Jack had an opportunity to perform at the highest level. Jack likes to say that role switched over time. So as Jack went on with his career and that career started to fade, Barbara decided that it was time that she and Jack start a foundation. So the Nicklaus Children's Healthcare Foundation was started 20 years ago, and that foundation supports children's healthcare causes across the country, anchored in Florida, but heavily involved here in Columbus, Ohio with Nationwide Children's Hospital. So Barbara has been able to affect not only how we put the memorial tournament on and us giving over $50 million to local charities, 42 of which go to Nationwide Children's, to generating over $250 million for children's causes around the country. And that's what we're ultimately celebrating, the fact that she and Jack created this entity here in Columbus, that they use golf as a backdrop and a platform to give and help others. And along the way, Barbara is known as the First Lady in golf, because within the world of golf, while the guys are out playing, their spouses and their significant others have supported charities throughout the entire country. And that's because Barbara started an entity called PGA Tour Wives in 1986 with Winnie Palmer, and a couple other of the tour wives, and decided that as their husbands or significant others are out playing golf, they're going to do something strong in the community. And so they started this entity called PGA Tour Wives, and today it's thriving and supporting so many others. So at the center of Barbara is family, and at the ultimate center is giving back to others and supporting other folks, and that's what we're recognizing this year.
What an amazing
I know.
woman. Wow. So, Dan, this event isn't just about golf, as you were just sharing. It's really about community. Can you talk about the local impact of the tournament? It obviously is about children's health care, and you talked a lot about the giving back and Barbara's legacy, but beyond that, what is that impact?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a local event that expands across the region, in the country, and the world. Right. So just think about the Memorial Tournament. We're distributed through broadcast over 220 countries and territories. So everyone gets to see what Central Ohio, what Columbus, what Dublin is all about, number one. We bring all those fans from around all over the place. We have thousands of fans coming. They're spending money in our marketplace, right? So they're coming in and staying in our hotels, going out to our restaurants and bars, coming to the Memorial Tournament, spending their hard-earned money from an entertainment standpoint to be with us here at the Memorial Tournament. And our measurement in the most recent has been $50 million in economic impact over those 7 days.
Wow.
That's pretty significant. We wish we could be longer than that, but that's pretty significant. And when they're in the market, what they'll be able to experience is everything that we have to offer. So Thursday night, we kick off a 4-miler. So we have over 2,000 people running in a 4-miler on Thursday night prior to the Memorial Tournament. During tournament week, we put a festival on at Bridge Park in Dublin, where thousands of people come. It's a street festival with music playing and just people enjoying themselves. We host a benefit concert downtown at Kemba Live, and this year we have Noah Khan coming. And Noah Khan is about as big as you get right now in the music industry. He loves the game of golf, so he's going to play in our Pro-Am.
Oh, wow.
And then
That's
perform for the benefit of our community and Nationwide Children's. And that concert is specifics focus on supporting kids' mental health. And so all the funds that are being generated that evening will go towards Nationwide Children's Pavilion and their foundation that they just created, Kids Mental Health Foundation, that helps kids around Central Ohio and around the country. So what we do with our week is that we try to expand into as many different entertainment options outside of the golf as we do inside the golf. And that's something that we've created over time. It used to be just focused on the 7 days of golf and what's happening inside the ropes. Now we look to, as over the past 10 years, we've looked to try to expand through partnerships to create events around the city that allow people to, if they don't love the game of golf, they're going to love the fact that they're out in the community having a great time. We always look at the Memorial as kind of the rite of passage in the summer. At least that's our tagline, and we think that others look at it the same way. It's a chance for family and friends to get together, and we try to create the environment to have them enjoy that.
Yeah. By the way, just 7 days, but a $50 million economic impact.
Amazing.
That's
Yes.
incredible.
Yeah, we're really proud of the
Wow.
amount of support we get and the amount of interest we have in it.
Yeah.
Dan, how many total people experience events around the Memorial? Do you have a count of that? How many thousands of people?
Well, it's over 200,000 because of
Yeah.
all the different stuff that we do.
Amazing.
And what we're most proud of is that people mark their calendars to make sure that they don't miss it. When I hear friends saying that they're leaving town the week of the Memorial Tour, I'm like, wait a second, you can leave another week. You need to stay here that week.
Absolutely.
At least don't tell Dan Sullivan that,
Right, exactly, right. Exactly.
Dan, we've also seen a pretty big focus on the fan experience in recent years. What are some of the ways you and your team are working to make the Memorial more engaging and inclusive? And you've done a great job.
Yeah, thank you very much. So again, I said it just a few seconds ago, not everyone loves the game of golf, but they love being with people. They love being with family and friends and just being outside. So around the golf course, we have an opportunity to engage anybody. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what your interests are. So if you're a family, you want to come out, first of all, 16 and under, get in free. So if you're a family that wants to bring the kids out and get them exposed to the game of golf and just enjoy themselves, it doesn't cost you anything to come. No other sporting event in Columbus allows you to do that, right?
true,
So number one. And you have just a huge landscape so the kids can hang out a little bit and not be confined to a seat. When they're out there, when the kids are out there, we have putting greens and simulators and just where they can try the game of golf and get familiar with it. As you age through the process, there are plenty of opportunities for others to come out and enjoy. We have destinations out on number 12 where we have Adirondack chairs, and so you can feel like you're a VIP by paying a patron ticket where we have wait service. We're creating a whole new structure out on 16. 16 is a destination that we're really focused on. So Cameron Mitchell will have Cap City dining menus out on
Nice.
16 where you can sit in chairs and hang under umbrellas. And it's not a hospitality venue. It's open to the public to walk in and get, you can get our famous turkey sandwich, but you can also get something from Cameron Mitchell. And you just get the atmosphere that you're just being taken care of in a space that is just conducive to hanging out and having fun. And then, frankly, as our fans age, we have the ability to move them around the golf course. We have a disabled service that we put folks in golf carts and we drive them to destinations around the golf course. So if they come to the tournament and they're not able to move around as well as they used to, we'll do it for them. We'll put them in a cart. We'll take them out to the backside. We'll take them out to the front side and allow folks to really enjoy a part of their day.
That's a nice service.
Yeah, it's
by
great.
The way.
We started that about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's worked out really well. It's one of our most popular services that we offer to folks. We focus heavily on military and the appreciation of military and first responders. So Wednesday, free of charge for anybody who's a first responder or military representative. We have our military outpost on 16. So what we try to do is appeal to as broad and wide of a demographic as we possibly can, because we know it's really enjoyable to be out there. And one other one I'll put out there, we offer up to any golf team, male or female golf team in the entire state of Ohio, high school teams, to bring their families and themselves free of charge to the tournament on Wednesday. So we've already had 5,000 requests for tickets just on Wednesday to come out to the tournament. So our crowd on Wednesday will be upwards of 25 to 30,000 people. They'll get to see entertainers and stars and sports celebrities, as well as have a great day of watching these incredible world-class athletes who play the game of golf.
Maybe for people who haven't been to the tournament before, with all of the access that you just mentioned, they can still get tickets? They can still participate?
Yeah. So first, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday tickets are available all the way through tournament week. So we'll sell them all the way through Wednesday. Full week tickets are available through this coming Friday, which is the 23rd. And we will sell those out and shut them down. I will tell you that we do have a special tickets for 20-year-olds. So this is something we started about 5 years ago. We call it the Gen 20 ticket. Anyone between the age of 20 and 29 can buy a discounted daily ticket. We sell full week tickets only, and that was created by Jack Nicklaus because that's what the Masters does. But we want to get young people involved in our tournament, and so we created a daily ticket for those in their 20s, and it's taken off. You can tell when they're working because Thursday, Friday, there aren't many people buying tickets. But on the weekend, we sell out completely of the Gen 20 ticket.
I love that.
And we get a great representation of our young professionals, our young folks who want to just be a part of the tournament and come out over the weekend.
So
Dan,
cool.
Sarah, I just wanted to ask one thing before we move on from the fan experience. Knowing how long Jack has been around the game of golf, when you were throwing these ideas at him, change isn't always easy.
That's right.
What was his attitude towards some of these new fan experiences?
You're exactly right. It's a perceptive question because Jack is very focused on what he wants his golf tournament to look like. And the line I always use is, we are not going to affect anything inside the ropes. We want to make sure that the purity of the competition stays the way it has always been, what he's expected for 50 years. But we're going to start throwing a party outside of it because we need to attract a broader interest level. And we've been able to do that. And golf's been able to do that. Not unlike any other sport, right? You go to a baseball game, you go to a hockey game, there's a lot going on other than what's on the field, right? And the same thing for golf. So we preserve the sanctity of what Jack created with the competition. You see that in how we present the golf course. You see that we don't have. You go to another golf tournament, there are a number of people walking along the fairways, walking inside the ropes. We preserve it just for the players inside. And we preserve just the beauty of the golf course inside the ropes. Outside, take a couple steps back, we're going to create an atmosphere that anybody's going to enjoy. And
am I wrong by saying you get all walks of life now that come out, fans-wise?
And golf is ultimately accessible. I'll give you an example. We're partnering. So there's this group called Youth on Course. That's a national organization. They came to the city of Columbus, Parks and Rec golf courses, so there are 5 of them. The Memorial Tournament has helped underwrite rounds of golf for kids to go to the city of Columbus public golf courses So the kids pay $5 to go play a round of golf that would normally cost $45 or $50.
That's great.
Right? And so we just started that this summer, and it's a great opportunity for us to do our part and give back through the game to the local community. And hopefully what we're going to find is that people start loving the game so much as they rise up through their lives that they have a chance to experience everything that we've had to offer and enjoy the game that we love.
Love it.
That is so cool. So, Dan, let's shift gears a bit. You're not just running one of the country's premier golf events, you're also a leader in the sports and hospitality industry. What is the most important leadership lesson you've learned throughout your career?
I would say building relationships is the key to everything, and being able to communicate in a really effective way. So what we do on a daily basis is create opportunities for people to enjoy themselves. And if we don't do it right, if we don't have the right positive attitude, people aren't going to come. And so building relationships if it's a vendor, if it's a volunteer, if it's a patron, a corporate sponsor, an individual, we want to make sure that it's a one-to-one relationship. We always think that the Memorial Tournament is other people's tournaments, not ours, right? I just represent it for a short period of time. It's everyone else's. It's the communities. And if we want to make sure that we're building that connection with the product, with the brand, and with what we're trying to create. And if you create connections, if you create relationships, you're going to be successful.
Dan, it's clear that your passion for this event and for Columbus runs deep. What made you say yes to building your career right here?
Well, I would say it was an opportunity. John Hines invited me to work, and I said, that sounds pretty good. I literally had a job offer to go to Richmond, Indiana. And I'm like, I'm not going to Richmond, Indiana to sell boxes. I want to stay here. I was completely grateful for given the opportunity, and I never want to overlook that. And that's why I work so hard at trying to make sure the Memorial gives back, and that my wife and I, Allie and I, give back, and our kids will do the same thing. Because this is a great place to raise a family. It's an awesome place to emanate from. I travel around the world. I'm lucky enough within this industry and to create the company we have that I've traveled to all parts of the world, every part of the country. Wow. And it's awesome and easy to get back to Columbus and to maintain a life here, to maintain a family and a career, knowing that every week I'm going somewhere, which literally I'm going somewhere every week. It's a great place to emanate from.
Mm-hmm. Well, right? Boxer and I clearly agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Dan, for what it's worth, knowing you from phone interviews, but finally getting to see you in person, I could so see you on an ESPN or as a broadcast. I know where
you have the voice, and you're such an amazing communicator.
And anyway, but we're glad, obviously, you're here. So look, we want to do some rapid fire questions, Stan. It's called the Rapid Fire Questions Columbus Edition. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Right. Must try restaurant if you're visiting Columbus for the first time.
All right, I'm going to give one obvious and one not so obvious. Okay. Lindy's for sure.
Yes.
Right, Lindy's for sure. But La Tavola in Grandview. It is awesome. It is awesome. I don't want to give away the secret because it's an awesome little place that serves incredible food.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. Yes. So look, this is probably like asking who your favorite child is, but most memorable moment from a past Memorial Tournament.
It has to be Tiger Woods' third win.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it just had 3 in a row, and it's just incredible what he did and the excitement that he brought to the tournament.
Yeah.
I'd say the tournament's always been popular, but it probably hit a peak there.
Yeah.
Your ideal summer weekend in Columbus.
So I'm big into mountain biking, so it would be get up early on Saturday, mountain bike around the city. I love the pass going along the river and all that. Then later in the day, connecting with my wife and going to a brewery and hanging out. I love the period between Saturday 4 and 6 o'clock. It's like my little. It's
your own happy hour.
It's my own happy hour. So hanging out and just taking in new opportunities throughout Central Ohio.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
We're going to switch gears now for our last 2 segments. Our next one is called Columbus Classics. This podcast is all about uncovering what's new, but we also love the tried and true places and experiences. Can you tell us about a classic Columbus experience you love? It could be a neighborhood restaurant or anything.
Yeah, it has to be German Village. My wife and I lived down there for right when we got out of school and until we had our second of 4 kids. So I love Club 185 and I love walking around to my old friends at the Highbeck and a couple other spots. And being able to walk around German Village and just have a great time any day is as good as it gets.
Yeah. Great tips for our listeners.
Yeah,
yes.
I know. I
Club
agree.
185 cheeseburgers where it's at.
So good. So good. Dan, before we close out today's episode, we have just one more segment. What are you saying yes to in Columbus this season?
I'm saying yes to get out and doing a little bit more. Do that bike ride more often than I have in the past, and taking in some of these festivals. Our son, our oldest kid, is getting married this summer, and it's over Ribfest weekend. And so we're going to have a bunch of family in town. We're going to go to the Ribfest and celebrate our oldest wedding.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's big.
Dan, thank you so much for joining us today. The Memorial Tournament presented by Workday is such an iconic event, and your leadership continues to elevate it and our city on a national stage.
Dan, before we go, just one more quick question. First, congrats on all of your success. How does a regular folk like me or Sarah get one of those shakes at the Memorial Tournament?
Well, that's it. You absolutely. We need to have a milkshake on this podcast. And they don't travel well, so you got to come to Muirfield for it.
Well, I don't think you'll have
Does this podcast travel? So we got to get, all right, we got to get you out here.
Yeah. Can I name drop you?
Yes, absolutely. Just come to the front gate and just name drop, and you got it going on. Yes. Have you ever had one before?
Never.
Never.
It's worth the wait. Yes, we're making it happen. That's what I'm saying yes to.
Nice.
Right.
We'll take you up on that.
Well, look, to learn more about the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday, just visit thememorialtournament.com. And for more great ways to experience Columbus, just follow Experience Columbus on social media and head to experiencecolumbus.com. Thank you for listening to Yes Columbus, and we'll see you next time. Dan, a real pleasure.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. It's fun. Thank you.
That's a wrap on this week's episode of Yes Columbus, an Experience Columbus podcast. Tune in next week as we take you on a tour of what's new, what's hot, and what makes Columbus a city on the rise.